of FailQQ. And unfortunately for them, they're going to have quite a bit of troubles, I presume, with this PA in lane. They don't have too much disable to sound a retreat for her, or cover a retreat, I should say. And therefore, PA is going to have to utilize that blink to get out more often than not. And I definitely wouldn't count out or rule out the possibility of FailQQ running an aggressive try into this PA Elder Titan Skywrath Mage if that's what it ends up being. Not sure that they really are privy to running the Elder Titan in the mid. They perhaps could run an Elder Titan off lane with a safe lane Tidehunter and the mid PA, and couple this Skywrath with a little bit of a stronger support like a Sand King or something of the like. I wouldn't mind that choice, and I think that's probably the most likely choice. Elder Titan is not the best in a support role. He is a hero that doesn't necessarily need farms, but he is very level dependent. He needs levels up in that natural order as well as the spirit. And Magnus going to be picked up once again for the side of FailQQ. Gokoroki took this to the off lane last game, so they definitely do have two cores here in the Magnus as well as the Morphling. Perhaps they're considering this Magnus going mid, anticipating a melee mid hero from BoraDota. The Shockwave is very good into the PA. She doesn't have the greatest base HP pool, and Shockwave is extremely spammable. It is magic damage, so it's not going to be dodged, of course, by the PA. Also, it does offer the Empower for the Wraith King if they choose to put the Wraith King in a core role in the late game. So once again, we can see a Wraith King solo safe lane carry with the Morphling in the mid and the Magnus in the off lane. But we could also see that Magnus in the mid, the Wraith King in a support role, the Morphling in the safe lane. And we will see a Shadow Fiend ban here, so they are expecting this Wraith King to be a support from the side of BoraDota. And the Storm will be the final pickup here for BoraDota. So this will be a support ET, presumably, unless we see a support Tidehunter, which is pretty poop. So we probably will not see that. And I'm not sure that I favor the lineup of BoraDota thus far. It looks like the PA will have a lot of ways to be dealt with. Storm Spirit does offer them a lot of initiation, and certainly is one to have the onus on himself to control the tempo of these team fights, and will take some of the attention off of the Phantom Assassin here. So in that respect, it is a good pickup for BoraDota. Also does synergize well with the Ancient Seal, which can act as an early Orchid for him, and does amplify pretty much all of his damage, which is magical, including the Overload. So going to be a good pickup there, synergizing with the Skywrath Mage to roam around. And then the Natural Order from the Titan will help him out as well, but I'm not sure exactly where this PA fits in with this lineup, albeit they do have the Mystic Flare, the Ravage, the Earth Splitter. So there are a lot of big team fight ultimates for BoraDota, and it certainly can work out if executed properly. So TA was banned out by FailQQ before the Storm pick, and they'll round out their lineup with the Nyx Assassin here. So unless this is a support Nyx, and I presume it's not, it should be an off-lane Nyx Assassin. And we'll see, will Pheno pick up the Wraith King? He played the Abaddon last game, so it seems like it will be support combo of AA Wraith King with the Morphling in the middle lane, or in the safe lane I should say, Magnus in the middle lane, and perhaps we will see the Nyx Assassin off lane from the side of FailQQ. Either way, jDL Season 4, guys. This is Division 2 of the American Division. And we will see FailQQ up against BDD. FailQQ taking game one in a very convincing fashion with a Huskar in the run one role. So interesting drafting from them. It did end up paying off. And we're going to watch the game with that overlay over, because I think it looks so beautiful. Either way, pause as we run into the game. So unfortunately for us, guys, we will have to wait. And South American Dota usually has some pause of sort early on, but it looks like we will get this underway. Let's introduce the teams. BoraDota on the Radiant side will have Nico XD picking up the Tidehunter towards the offlane, very standard lane for him. Aquino gonna pick up the Skywrath Mage, played up on that Ogre last game. Jesse actually was playing on the Visage, is going to play in the mid lane on the Storm Spirit. So a little bit of a role switch up here from BoraDota. And Dead, who took up the Brewmaster, is now going to take that Elder Titan, probably towards that safe lane in a support role, where he will be babysitting with the Arcana, damn it, on his PA. Played on that Drow Ranger last game. On the side of FailQQ, KYW picking up the Nyx Assassin to the offlane. So once again, a role reversal. He was playing on the Death Prophet in the mid game last game. We will see Smile, who was playing the Huskar, picking up the Magnus into the mid lane. So a lot of flexibility from both these teams, so good on them in that case. Either way, the support duo, Wolfino and Love You Selena, will remain supports. Wolfino playing up on the Wraith King, and Love You Selena playing on that Ancient Apparition, babysitting Go Kuroki's one position Morphling for the side of FailQQ. Perhaps could see an engagement here in the river, but it doesn't seem like we will. It looks like FailQQ will secure the top rune and BoraDota securing the bot rune here. So both safe lanes securing the rune. Pretty potent early combo here with the Chilling Touch of Love You Selena and Wolfino. The Chilling Touch is very effective on the Morphling, who is a ranged carry, which is pretty darn good with that. Bounty rune going to be picked up here by Wolfino on the Wraith King. And they're going to have a double damage rune in the bot lane to be grabbed up by Dead or actually by the Skywrath Mage, which makes a little more sense as he is ranged and he should be able to harass out this Nyx Assassin for KYW pretty well. Mid lane matchup, Storm Spirit versus a Magnus. Storm should have a slight edge here, but Smile should not really be hard pressed to find his farm if he uses that Shockwave to good effect. Of course, Storm always does fairly well against melee heroes with that Static Remnant. Concussive Shot goes out bot lane, as well as the Stifling Dagger, both going to be dodged, or at least the Dagger going to be dodged with that Spike Carapace for KYW. He'll take a couple double damage shots, so that's going to be a little bit worrisome for him, but he should be just fine in this lane. Nico XD in the top lane is going to be harassed out a bit, but not going to feel too worried about this lane thus far. We will see some stacking occurring on the large camp from Wolfino, so that should be stacked up there. There is now a dual stack. And we will see Smile in the mid lane, 2-0 up against the 2-2 of the Storm Spirit for Jesse. So he will do just fine on the Magnus. Jesse should find a little bit more. And it looks like KYW not too worried about standing up in this lane. He's only got 4 tangos, so interesting from him. He went boots first on the Nyx Assassin, and there is no boots first on Aquino Skywrath Mage. So no Poor Man's Shield for this Nyx Assassin, which is the more common build in this offlane. But I guess expecting to go up against the Skywrath Mage. He's going to catch a Stifling Dagger. There's no blink quite yet, though. Actually, there was a blink available, but the Spike Carapace at the ready. Damn it, thinks better of it, and probably wisely so. And we will see KYW back off and tango up a little bit. He's going to find some decent farm here, as is the Tidehunter of Nico XD. He's already level 2, almost level 3, and should be around level 3, if not level 3 at the end of this wave. And he actually finds quite a few last hits as well. Smile going to get his rune denied up to him by Aquino, and it looks like they will harass him all the way back to his middle lane. There is no skill point from Dead here on the ET, so interesting from him. He doesn't have that Spirit. That would have given him a little bit extra MS and a little bit more harass in that mid lane. KYW's now found his level 2, so he does have the counter initiation provided by that Impale, so should be just fine there. But a lot of farm available here for Dammit. Dead rotates back into the lane. Aquino is basing at the moment, so they shouldn't have any kill potential on this Nyx Assassin. And they perhaps could get aggressive onto the Tidehunter. They do have the Cold Feet here, so they're going to look to overlap that with the Wraith Fire Blast and try to get a proc off that. And the Tidehunter, though, does have the Kraken Shell up, so is pretty darn tanky and should be able to dispel that debuff shortly thereafter. So KYW postured up in the trees defensively, trying to soak some XP. Has found level 3.5, so not too bad for this Nyx Assassin in the offlane, and should get up. A Poor Man's Shield has picked up a Magic Stick for now to deal with the harass from the Arcane Bolt. Nico a little bit out of position here, but Wolfino won't be able to rotate over in time. That boots first Tidehunter pretty quick, sitting at 360 MS, actually 10 quicker than the Wraith King of Wolfino. Jesse's found 18 last hits to only the 7 in the mid lane of Smile, so Smile not doing particularly well here. Looks like KYW is being aggressed on bot lane, but he'll just be harassed out. Almost found his level 4. Nico is a little bit lower, actually. He'll cop a Wraith Fire Blast to the face. This Cold Feet should not proc. He should be able to walk it out, and does do so, but he will take about half his HP pool. Love You Selena and Wolfino gonna cop a few tower hits to the face for their troubles. And we will see Dead stacking some Ancients early on for NicoXD on the Tidehunter. He'll be able to recover nicely. And it's not even like he's doing that poorly. Almost level 4 already. In the jungle, though, skewer up to the high ground from Smile. Few right clicks. He's got the shockwave there. He's going to need one more. But that 325 move speed to his 315 going to be a little too much. And the skewer is now on cooldown. He actually denies himself to neutral creeps. So it looks like he did buy out. He actually still had some unreliable gold there. So I'm not sure if he was looking to juke in the tree line and just ended up dying. But it will be a quick back to base. He will TP out back into the lane, and a little bit of wasted time here. NicoXD being aggressed on in the top lane, but they won't have, well, they do have the waveform forward, but they won't have the range right now. And he's going to be level 3. KYW in the meantime has found his level 4, but he is being juked into the trees here. He's going to have to stun and try and TP out. He will do that, but one last right click from Dammit going to bring him down, and that'll be your first blood. Meanwhile, that first death actually was into the creeps by Aquino, so that is your first blood going the way of the Phantom Assassin. In the meantime, Jesse going to be picked up in the mid. No RP even committed by Smile there, so nice little pickup from FailQQ. The Spirit is here with a stomp. It will whiff onto Smile though, and Dead not going to find anything interesting built from him. 1-1-0 thus far on the Elder Titan, and Smile going to rotate back into the mid lane. Gonna crow his bottle, it seems. Yep, Courier moving pretty damn slow, and he's gonna need that back end lane for some regen. Just trying to find his level 6 here, and he will, even with that creep denial. So RP at the ready for this Magnus. We'll see if he looks to make something happen in this mid game with that obviously very impactful ultimate. NicoXD level 4 and a bit. KYW about the same on this Nyx Assassin. Has not upgraded his magic stick quite yet. And it looks like GoKuroki going to scout out NicoXW, who does have a TP out if need be. But he will just juke into the tree line and back up. And will be just fine for the time being. GoKuroki not willing to walk into the tree line into an anchor smash there and potential death. Jesse rotating towards the top lane on the Storm Spirit. He was pinged out, however, by the Ancient Apparition by Love You Selena. And this ward scouting him out here. They do have 3 now. 4, I should say, even in the top lane, and it looks like they will go for a push here. They'll leave the Phantom Assassin in the bot lane, but KYW gonna have a good time knowing that everyone is evacuated from this bot and middle lanes, and he's actually vendetted up for the moment, so playing a little safe, soaking a little bit of experience, and may just, actually he's invisible, so he's not vendetted up because he's not quite level 6 just yet. Jesse will rotate back towards the mid. They don't have any kill potential as GoKuroki rotated behind the tower for the time being with his Wraith King, and they will be just fine to continue on. 7 minutes in, your score is 2-1 in favor of FailQQ. Of course, one death by BoraDota was to neutral, so they didn't get anything off that. Concussive shot goes out onto GoKuroki. He's going to start morphing strength, and he actually almost morphs to the point where he's no mana for this waveform, but he will be just fine. And things will stagnate for the time being. We will see Dead rotating back towards the mid lane. There has been a little bit of aggressive posturing here from Smile, so he's a little bit susceptible, but he backs up the high ground as they do have this high ground ward, so very good defensive warding early on from FailQQ. They'll know exactly what rotations are happening where for the most part, and they've been diligent on their supports with keeping these up here. Stifling Dagger into KYW, and he'll take a little bit of harass. Dammit farming very well, 52 CS on this Phantom Assassin. They may see a jump forward mid here, but the Magnus simply going to bottle up. He's going to look to take this bottom rune. And there is an invisible Dead here with a 1-1-1 build waiting in the wings. But Magnus has evacuated this middle lane. And he has found a GG rune bottom, so he bottles that up. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Bounty Rune going to fill up the bottle of Jesse on the Storm Spirit. They do have 3 here in the mid lane. Could perhaps go for Smiles Magnus. And we may see an engagement very soon. Concussive shot can latch from the trees. But this has been scouted out by, of course, this ward once again, which is now overlapped with a Radiant ward, but there's no sentries from either side. Glyph is available here for FailQQ. They certainly will use it as this goes into deny range, and they do here. Magnus will probably look for a deny, and he's going to clean up the wave and should be successful in finding this deny. He's even going to pop his double damage rune. Jump in from Jesse. They're going to look to take this tower deny here, and they will get the last hit on the Skywrath Mage, but skewer forward. There's a double damage movement as well. Nice juke to the side. Waveform, however, Shockwave gonna finish off the Skywrath Mage. Aquino gonna pay with his life for that last hit on the tower, so in a sense it's worth it for the side of BoraDota, but they may have their tier 1 mid. Aggressed on Wavefire Blast out onto Dead. He's caught out of position. One last right click from Smiles Magnus. Very, very questionable play from the Elder Titan. Meanwhile, damn it, knowing everyone is in the mid lane, gonna go bottom onto KYW. He will pop the Spike Carapace. There is a blink in 4 seconds, but he's gonna juke into the tree lines and stop cast that Impale, and that will sound the retreat for damn it, who now is accompanied by Aquino in the bot lane on the Skywrath Mage. Either way, 2-for-0 in the mid lane, going the way of FailQQ. Very nice trade for them in this early game. Their tower does go down. Nico, not quite level 6 with the Ravage at the ready, but Jesse is here, level 8 on the Storm Spirit. And perhaps they look to take out this Morphling, but a very tanky target with the ability to morph strength, already level 3. And actually, Smile's going to pick off Aquino Skywrath Mage once again without even the use of the RP bottom lane. So apologies for missing that one, guys. He does just skewer forward. There was an Impale from the Nyx Assassin, and this blink on Smile, sub 10 minutes, already paying dividends for him. He finds a kill on the Skywrath Mage, got 368 gold in addition to that blink. Jump forward though onto Love You Selena from Jesse. Waiting though was Smile. He'll cast the RP. This should get a cold feet proc as well, and the Ice Blast casted just before death by Love You Selena, well played by him, will shatter the Storm Spirit, and it looks like the experience will go all of Magnus's way, but the gold going somewhat towards the Ancient Apparition. And a nice little win in the mid lane for FailQQ. Certainly worth the usage of the Ravage, in my opinion. That Storm Spirit, high up on the net worth chart at the time of death, is still second overall, so only surpassed by the PA at this moment. GoKuroki not farming extremely well. Looks like he's building perhaps into a Manta, going into that Yasha very early, so opting to bypass the very standard Lincolns on this Morphling. And they will put some chip damage into this tier 1 in the off lane here for the side of FailQQ. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, TP rotations I should say, in from Jesse, as well as Dead already postured up there. Newton looking to farm up some stacks. Ice Blast is going to go out top lane. It is going to land on Aquino Skywrath, and he's going to get pretty low. He's going to sound the retreat right into the face of the Magnus. Skewer forward, Shockwave should be able to kill him, and Smile does find another kill on that Skywrath. He's fed off him pretty well in this early game. KYW waiting in the wings with a Vendetta at the ready, is level 6 now. Nico has found his level 6 by virtue of farming these Ancients, so Ravage is ready as well. He's got his Arcane Boots up. And it looks like KYW scouting things out with the Vendetta. He will find Jesse's Storm Spirit if he's patient enough, and he's found him here in the tree line. So they know this is rotating in, and he may jump on the Morphling, but a wave forward, a nice Vendetta, and a very nice overlapping of abilities. The Ice Path isn't even there for insurance. He will get the deny, however, so Jesse, a nice little cheeky play by him to find that deny, but he does pay with his life here. Very nice synergy of abilities with the waveform and the Impale there. Couple right clicks from the duo of KYW and GoKuroki, and they do find a kill on a high priority target. Once again, that's dropped Jesse down to 4th overall on the net worth chart. He's now been vaulted by both Smile on the Magnus and GoKuroki on that Morphling, who does have his Yasha at the ready in base, so that will be ferried out to him shortly, and he will be well on his way to his Manta style, still needing the ultimate orb and the recipe, of course. Smile in the mid lane. Stifling Dagger does miss, but they jump in and they miss the overload as well. Two abilities hit onto creeps from BoraDota, and very questionable play from them. Magnus, obviously a very small hero, hard to hit when he's beside a ranged creep. So interestingly enough, they use up the Earth Splitter, some of Jesse's mana as well, and they get nothing for it. Earth Splitter did connect onto KYW, and there will be a 3-man smoke rotation from the side of FailQQ. If they walk up the hill, they'll find a very high priority target in the Phantom Assassin of Dammit, who is currently farming. They will see the smoke popped here, so they do know she is around the corner. Will they guess right? They drop a ward. Very smartly played by Love You Selena. Ice Blast going to be there. Magnus going to get the last hit with the Impale coming through onto Dammit, and that is a huge kill going the way of the trio of Love You Selena as well as Smile and KYW, and they should be able to take an objective off this as the entirety of their team has rotated towards the bot lane. They will look to aggress onto this tier 1 tower, which there is a glyph available for and should be used by the side of BoraDota as it does refresh, but that should just delay the inevitable here, and we will see the tier 1 tower actually dropping without a glyph usage. So BoraDota looking pretty poor in these last couple of minutes, missing 2 abilities consecutively on creeps, not glyphing a tier 1 tower, and also feeding over their Phantom Assassin. Extremely smart play here from Love You Selena. Was currently out of vision, drops the ward here to know if the Phantom Assassin is in this camp. If she is not, they know to go this way, as the smoke was popped somewhere in that area, so in this box here. Either way, they find a kill on a very high priority target. Bracer is going to be picked up by Love You Selena. He is pretty much right at the bottom of the net worth chart. Kino very, very poor on the Skywrath. Dammit has found almost all the makings of the Battle Fury, so that kill very timely for FailQQ. She is now 300 gold, or 70 gold away from that broadsword, on the way to the Battle Fury, which will be ferried out to her shortly. We have found a blink now for Nico XD, so this could be a huge, huge pickup for the side of BoraDota. They may start to take some engagements, as we do see FailQQ balling up quite a bit here. And the Blink Ravage is at the ready in the mid lane, so we'll keep an eye on this Tide Hunter from Nico XD. KYW is going to get scouted out by a Stifling Dagger, and will be able to proceed to Vendetta away. Sentry Ward is going to be dropped a little bit late. KYW, though, he may look to re-engage into the range of this Sentry. He will now actually walk to the south, so nicely played by him. And he will dodge the Sentry for the time being. He's going to scout out this entire lineup here. Concussive Shot's going to go forward. Wraithfire Blast into the Elder Titan. Vendetta is not going to be there. He's a little bit late from KYW. Jump in, though. A nice Ancient Seal onto the Magnus. Ravage is there, as well as the Earth Splitter. They'll bring down 2 in the Mystic Flare Light. And the reincarnation from Wraith King is there. Waveform forward. They will pick one off. The Tide Hunter does go down, but it looks like Gokuroki may pay with his life here. Cold Feet out onto Dammit. He's going to blink forward. One more right click. Nice Wraith Fire Blast from Wolfino to keep up the Morphling for the time being, but a zip forward by Jesse. One last right click into that Morphling. Ancient Seal also up onto the Wraith King. They'll bring him down 4 for 1 in the mid lane, and that's going to be a full team wipe, as the Stomp does hit on Love You Selena, who tries to TP out in the tree line. And Ancestral Spirit going to be cast, retracted by Dead. This should give him enough move speed. He does find that last right click there. Full 5-man wipe in the mid lane, going the way of BoraDota, and there's some recovery for them. That's a nice almost 4,000 experience swing in their favor, as well as a 3,000 gold swing in their favor, and they only lose the Tide Hunter for that. So very well played from them. Jump in from the Magnus was immediately countered up by the Ancient Seal on Aquino, and that pretty much won them the fight. They were able to group them up for a Mystic Flare, as well as the Earth Splitter, which was even a little bit late. The Ravage hit them, the Mystic Flare hit them, and the Earth Splitter didn't really need to do much damage, as they were pretty much dead on the Magnus, as well as what I believe was the Nyx Assassin at that point for KYW. So very well played from BoraDota. Great engagement from them. That'll pole vault Jesse up almost to second place. He's at parity with the Magnus. Dammit's going to go back up to first overall on the net worth chart. Has picked up as well a Battle Fury at this point. So looking very good is this PA for Dammit thus far. And looking pretty styling and pimp with the Arcana as well. We'll see perhaps the Ravage be the cue for another engagement from FailQQ. Roshan hasn't been really paid any attention to by either team here. We'll see some de-warding happening from Selena. Unfortunately for him, the range just outside the ward just outside the range of that Observer ward for the side of BoraDota. So there is a 2-man duel in the bot lane. However, there's a blink available. Skewer back is not quite there from Smile yet, and actually doesn't choose to use it. He's going to force himself out here as Aquino does rotate in. Nice Spike Carapace going to be popped on the Ancestral Spirit, but a jump forward and a gush. Vendetta is going to be used up from KYW. He will catch the Anchor Smash, but not going to be enough. There was a zoning Ice Blast thrown as well by Love You Selena, and things will, at least for now, stagnate. TPs to the top lane from Dammit. Does certainly have solo kill potential on this Wraith King, but with the second life, may just look to pop this reincarnation. Wraith Fire Blast into him. Gonna be a nice TP out here from Wolfino. One crit. Needed a second there. Not gonna be enough, and Wolfino gonna TP out. KYW in the bottom lane is a little bit out of position. Is gonna look to TP out in the tree line. Will be successful in doing so. And so can't really go mid lane. Scouted out by a Sentry here is Smile. This Sentry Observer Ward combo did scout him out, and they will proceed to back off for the side of BoraDota. Ice Blast gonna whiff onto Aquino. That would have sounded the engagement there for Smile if that happened, and Dead's gonna see him here with that Sentry Ward, so he does know he is there. Perhaps we'll start channeling an Echo Stomp. Smile needs to be very careful at this point, and he will get hit with the Ancestral Spirit. Walk forward from dead, but won't be able to channel that Stomp in time. And Smile will jump forward. He will skewer him back, but he doesn't skewer him directly back, and will get jumped in by the Storm Spirit. One more zip forward. Ball Lightning Ravage onto Mystic Flare as well. FailQQ going to drop here. Jesse is out of mana, so should drop Waveform. One more right click is enough to bring him down for GoKuroki, but he's going to get hit with a Stomp as he used that Waveform aggressively. He does have a Replicate here. He is morphing Strength and is pretty tanky. Jump in from the Nyx Assassin. Impale only going to hit on the Skywrath Mage, but it will be enough to get GoKuroki out for the time being. Juke around the trees from KYW. He will pop the Carapace and try to back up. Ancient Seal, Arcane Bolt, and the Spirit is chasing him down, but he should be able to disengage for the time being. However, 3 dropped in the mid lane just for the Storm Spirit for the side of FailQQ. So big win for BoraDota, 3 for 1 as you see. Nice little experience swing going their way. Bigger gold swing of 1,000 going the way of BoraDota. So they do lose the Storm, which is unfortunate for them, but they drop the Magnus, the Ancient Apparition, and the Wraith King for the side of FailQQ. So BoraDota, a lot of comeback in this mid game, as you see the graph dipping down away from them and back up towards them in terms of net worth, and a little more drastically in terms of experience, both in excess of 5,000 leads generated by them. And all the meanwhile, Dammit hasn't suffered any economic loss from these engagements, and that'll mean he's pretty damn fat and almost unkillable in this mid lane. He's picked up the components of his BKB, is 275 gold away from that recipe. Does have the Battle Fury in tow, as well as the Morbid Mask for the lifesteal, base lifesteal at least. Helm of the Dominator can be built into next, and with a couple of creep camps, should be able to clean up. He should be able to clean up and finish off that BKB. And with the Ravage being used in the mid lane, they'll probably just wait the 45 seconds for that BKB and the Ravage, and can go into the lineup of FailQQ here and do a lot of work. Blink forward though, Skewer, as well as the Force Staff. Ice Blast is going to come out here, not going to be needed. Waveform going to finish off Nico XW. Nice little clean pickoff for FailQQ here, and perhaps they look to go Roshan. Dead has pinged out that he does have an illusion in the pit, so they will be able to see if they go for Roshan. It looks like they'll just try to perhaps force a buyback or put some chip damage into this T2 for the time being. Only 15 seconds left on this respawn timer for the Tidehunter, so they won't have too much of a window here. And the Ravage is about up simultaneously with his respawn. Bot before death was that Force Staff recipe for the Tidehunter, so using a lot of his gold there very efficiently, and he will be a little bit of a ways off that Force Staff still. Replicate is available here for GoKuroki. He does Manta away, still will get hit with that Arcane Bolt, which is not disjointable, but looks like everyone will disengage from this one, and perhaps retreat towards the pit for the side of FailQQ. But there is a Ravage they're fighting into, so this would be a very, very bad idea and terrible engagement for them to take. However, jump forward from Jesse. He's going to Orchid up Smile. Replicate out from GoKuroki. Luckily enough, Haste Rune available for Smile here. He's going to run back into the engagement though and get crit down easily by Dammit. Free kill. And Dammit is probably what the Magnus is thinking at this moment. So unusual play there from Smile. He played very well on the Huskar last game. He gets hasted out, looks to re-engage, and they didn't have their Morphling ready, so interesting from them. Either way, Roshan is very vulnerable now. It looks like this will be an easy pickup for the side of FailQQ. Ice Blast is ready in 3 seconds, but Roshan will be down by just about that time. Blink is now picked up for KYW. Ice Blast goes out, will hit on 2, and actually only hits on the Storm Spirit. So really just a glancing blow from the Ancient Apparition for FailQQ, and things going very well in this mid game for BoraDota. Looks like they should be able to, if they execute well, tie up this series 1-1, as FailQQ did take game 1, interestingly enough, with a Huskar pick. This Phantom Assassin really has been left totally unchecked by the side of FailQQ. They had a lot of ways to deal with her early, with the RP, with the increased magical damage from the Ice Vortex, with the Wraith Fire Blast, with the stun kit from the Nyx Assassin. And actually they do find Jesse out bot lane, so KYW with a nice solo kill, usage of the Blink there. Blink, Carapace, and the mana burn enough, so Jesse probably out in lane a little bit too low, and does feed over a nice kill to that Nyx Assassin. Either way, as I was mentioning, Skywrath Mage was the target of a lot of these kills from Smile with the Magnus, and perhaps they should have allocated a little more priority to this Phantom Assassin, who has found tons of farm, is now 12k net worth. Morphling has picked up a couple of items here, but is not really that scary. Does have his Manta Style as well as the Aquila and the Ogre Club. 1600 gold in addition to that, so perhaps looking to build into this BKB, it really seems like the only logical choice at this point for anyone, for a Morphling with an Ogre Axe. So blink out from KYW, he will be able to TP away in the tree line, and the Spirit's going to scout out that. We've already seen the backing off from Love You Selena, who hasn't picked up much on this Ancient Apparition, is right at the bottom of the net worth chart. Aquino is almost at the 4 staff on the Skyrath, so those couple engagements with the Mystic Flare doing work, definitely helping him out, and is only a recipe away from that 4 staff, so another 1250 gold for him, and he will be a little bit more survivable and mobile, and therefore should drag out the engagements a little longer, be able to get off that Ancient Seal, and do a lot of work for his team here. BoraDota, I should say, a little bit content to sit back and farm at this point, as Dammit is farming very well, but they do have this Aegis, which is available for another 2.5, almost 3 minutes, and they can definitely get some use out of it, with Dammit already having his 10-second BKB up. Can pretty much feed over his first life, save the BKB for the second, or use the BKB on the first one, do as much work as possible, and then come back with most heroes low from the other side. So I anticipate that they will group up fairly shortly for the side of BoraDota. Ice Blast does hit out on the Tide Hunter, but the Ravage is at the ready, the Aegis is in their hands, and there's really no reason to allow the side of FailQQ to farm back up on this Morphling and get him to a point where he's able to pop off these supports, who are pretty important in the Elder Titan, giving the natural order aura, as well as the Skyrath Mage having that Ancient Seal. So if the Morphling gets to a point where he is able to pop off these supports very quickly with a shotgun, they should be a little bit worried. And he can also, of course, split push with his Replicate, as you just saw him do that in the bot lane, pushing out the wave and replicating back to mid. So it is pretty scary to allow this Morphling to get back up some farm here, and they certainly should press the issue for the side of BoraDota with this fresh BKB, with this Aegis in tow for Dammit. And of course the Storm Spirit does now have the Orchid. You saw it used in the river to silence up that Magnus there for FailQQ. So Haste Rune's going to be popped from Jesse. It looks like they will finally begin the engagement here at some point. They are all converging onto the top lane, and they will rendezvous outside of this tier 2 tower for FailQQ. They have all their tier 2 still up, both teams actually with identical tower situation right now. So we'll see BD Dammit clean up the wave top lane. He's going to be the battering ram in the front with the Aegis. He will get hit by an Ice Blast here, will be the only one, however, and will actually blink back towards his Storm Spirit for the time being. Is there an urn? I don't believe so. There is an Adaptive Strike goes up, but jump forward from Jesse. He's going to orbit up the Magnus, waveform back away from the Stomp from the Morphling, and it looks like everyone will look to disengage at the moment, but jump in from Dammit. He's going to try and right click down this Wraith King, skewer back though, and he's going to be caught out of position with this Aegis respawning. There is a Wraith Fire Blast in 3 seconds. He will be able to blink back to a teammate, and does blink back to the Tide Hunter, so only the Aegis pop thus far. That's a little bit of a win for FailQQ. They're going to glyph up this tower and look to re-engage. KYW coming in from the sidelines with a Vendetta as well as a blink, and he will look to scout them out here. Ice Blast gonna connect onto 2. Dammit has been smoked up, but he does blink back towards the creeps, and actually is staying here to farm for a second. He can get hit with an Impale, nicely placed by KYW. The Ancestral Spirit, though, is there to zone out with a Stomp, and it looks like BD will just back off for the time being. They can re-engage. They've got a Blink Ravage at the ready, and they are smoked up here, so grouped up is the lineup of FailQQ. They're very susceptible to a Ravage here, but there's no vision from the side of BD, and therefore they won't be able to seize that opportunity at the moment. We will see KYW scout things out. He's got a blink ready if he sees anyone, as well as the Vendetta in 4 seconds, and he should blink out now, but he gets hit with the Gush as well as the Ancient Seal. The Stomp going to be there to follow. Jump in, finished off by Dammit. Ice Blast should hit a few on the way out. It actually only hits the Tide Hunter, and this should be a free tier 2 with the Nyx Assassin down for the side of BoraDota. And looks like they will clean that up promptly thereafter. Dammit gonna pick up the last hit, exactly the hero they do want to pick up that last hit. He's finished up his Basher on the way to an Abyssal Blade, and is looking pretty scary, sitting at 16k net worth above the Morphling, who has now picked up a BKB, so will be a little bit more survivable. That is the 10-second BKB. The 9-second BKB still available here for Dammit. Oh, actually didn't even use it when he popped that Aegis there, so it's just fine. Very conservative economic use of that BKB. Jesse on the low ground waiting to engage here, but Dammit actually just farming some creeps up. So we'll look to rendezvous with his teammates once again. And it looks like they'll just be content with their spoils for now. Jesse is going to TP out. They've choked most of FailQQ into their base at the moment. They will push out the lane bottom so that the Morphling doesn't have a chance to do that for Gokoroki. And things will stagnate for the moment. Taking a look at the metrics, guys. 7,500 net worth and experience lead generated by the side of BoraDota. Phantom Assassin getting fatter and fatter for the Dammit. He is about 1,800 away from that relic, which will complete his Abyssal Blade. And at that point, any target he wants is pretty much dead. Aside from the Wraith King, of course, has the second life. But if they're able to Abyssal up that Magnus or the Nyx Assassin and bring them down, that will be a huge hindering to the team fight of FailQQ. And Dammit actually going to walk towards the mid lane. Going to clean up the wave here, push things out a bit more, and choke to their side of the map. FailQQ. The Ice Blast does fly out bot lane and is going to hit on Jesse, but it's only a level 2 Ice Blast. It's a level 1 Ice Blast 30 minutes into the game. Jesse needs a pause here. Looks like he's DC'd. Either way, Ancient Apparition, taking a look at the hero levels, is level 8. Everyone else in the game, at very least, has their level 2 ultimate, and Ice Blast is certainly one of the ultimates you do want to be higher level, if at all possible. No one eclipsed the level 16 level for the side of FailQQ quite yet. Smiles Magnus sitting at level 15, and Gokoroki's Morphling sitting at level 14. We do have 2 level 17s on the side of BoraDota. That's, of course, the Storm Spirit of Jesse and Dammit's Phantom Assassin. So things going very well thus far for the side of BoraDota. Once again, 7,500, almost 10k leads generated in both experience and net worth. This is game 2. 30 minutes in, your score is 13-12 for FailQQ, but certainly not indicative of who is in control of this game, as BoraDota firmly within their grasp is the win here of game 2. They lost game 1 to a Huskar pick from FailQQ, played very well by Smile, albeit he didn't have too many issues with that Huskar. There was a lot of magic damage on the side of BoraDota, so he was fairly survivable and able to do quite a bit of work. Hopefully Jesse will be able to get his connection issues rectified sometime soon. Taking a look at the item progression otherwise, you have the Force Staff now picked up by Aquino. Force Blink was picked up by Tide, which we did see quite a while ago. It looks like a Yule Scepter is going to be the build for Dead on the Elder Titan. Obviously a very good item for him, synergizes well with the Earth Splitter and the Echo Stomp, and is also good to be used in a defensive manner or an offensive manner to pick up one of the enemy heroes as well as himself. So interesting. Very standard pickup from him. KYW hasn't found anything since his blink. It looks like he'll be going either into a Force Staff or a Dagon at this point. Probably the more likely is the Force Staff, as he doesn't have a Null Talisman, which he may have built quite a while ago on this Nyx. Do we have anything else? Only a Bracer on this Ancient Apparition, who's very poor. Looks like we will see a Refresher build from Smiles Magnus. He's still quite a ways away, is about there in terms of the gold needed to buy that Perseverance. It's still quite a ways away. That recipe costing 1,800 plus gold is quite expensive, so we shouldn't see that Refresher for at least the next 5 minutes, and perhaps we'll see it after that. Jesse hasn't picked up much since his Orchid, just the Ogre Axe, or Ogre Club I should say, and has been doing a lot of work on this Storm Spirit. You know, taking a look at his KDA, he has died quite a bit, 3, 5, and 8, but been involved in 11 of his team's 12 kills. So very pivotal hero thus far, and in his role in helping BoraDota get to where they are. Of course, you look at the PA, not too involved, only 6 kills, so involved about half of the kills, but that has benefited BoraDota quite a bit. So you see the ability to create space by Jesse here, very crucial in the lead that has so far been generated by BoraDota. And hopefully we do have this issue rectified sometime soon. There's been no chatting about it, so perhaps just a crash for Jesse. Either way, I would be certainly worried about this Phantom Assassin earn full Magic Stick treads and 2,000 gold for the Wraith King here for Wolfino, and perhaps he looks to build into that Blade Mail. I think the more likely choice is the Blink here from the Wraith King. They are lacking a bit of initiation aside from the Magnus. They do have the Nyx Assassin as well, so perhaps they're just looking for the jump in all of these fights. If they're able to bring down Jesse's Storm Spirit early, as they did in that top lane with the Morphling and the Nyx Assassin early game, that will spell definitely a good team fight for them. Perhaps even the Tidehunter's a more priority target. He's also building into a Refresher, is a little bit behind the Magnus on that, but even one Ravage at this point can absolutely decimate the lineup of FailQQ. There's only a BKB available on that Morphling, so everyone else is very susceptible to it. Of course, there's a second life available on Wolfino, but if he comes up with the rest of his team dead, that second life not worth much. So definitely will probably see BoraDota look to take an engagement soon, perhaps by the Roshan pit. And Wolfino, I'm wondering the same question. And it looks like he will be back fairly soon for the side of BoraDota. And Jesse certainly has been a standout player, a little bit high risk, high reward. 3, 5, and 8 on the Storm Spirit, so has died quite a bit, but was absolutely necessary to create space for this PA and was a very necessary distraction for the side of BoraDota, as we did see Dammit garner up quite a bit of farm throughout the early game and was able to get out an early Battle Fury and farm a BKB subsequent to that. Now a Basher looking at 1,500 gold until that Abyssal Blade, and that should come out within the next 3 or 4 minutes, I would say, at the rate he is farming currently. Looking at his GPM, 575 GPM, so about 3 minutes on average to pick up that Abyssal Blade, and that is a great timing at 33 minutes with a Battle Fury Abyssal Blade BKB treads and HDOM on that PA, and 16,000, almost 17,000 net worth eclipsed by BD. A little bit of saltiness from both teams, and things can definitely get tiring when we are waiting for the lobby for so long. And unfortunately, we will hopefully be back in the game fairly soon. And FailQQ not stomping as much as they were in the first game. Wolfino a little bit restless on that Wraith King. And I mean, he lives for an eternity, so I don't know why he'd be restless. Either way, Jesse reconnecting to the game here and should be able to get this back up and running in just a moment. And it looks like we will have an unpause, thankfully. So 30 minutes in, your score is 13-12 in favor of FailQQ, but certainly the game well within the grasp of BD. 7,500, almost 10k net worth and experience leads for them. Pretty much identical graphs, so the game has been pretty predictable by the metrics have been predictable, at least by the nature of the engagements. And we will see the Refresher actually come out here from Magnus, so must have had that Perseverance already up on the Courier. So this is a huge pickup for the side of FailQQ. Smile, despite dying 3 times, has been involved in 8 kills, has been able to find his farm, as they have prioritized some other heroes and been able to drop the AA and the Wraith King very early, as well as the Nyx Assassin. So he has been able to survive, and he does have a double RP now, which he will be level 16 fairly soon as well. So he really needs to go find that level 16 ASAP, and that will be a huge pickup for the side of FailQQ, albeit he does not have Arcanes yet. So I mean, he's gonna be hard pressed to get this off with a skewer. It's 500 mana for 2 RPs in addition to the 375. That's 875 mana, which he does not even currently have. And if he does level that RP to level 3, it's now 300 mana per cost. So that would be a total of 975 mana necessary. So he's going to need these Arcane Boots if he wants to level that RP to level 3. He's going to need them for even 2 level 2 RPs. And often you will see this RP not leveled up past level 1. The damage isn't that great, and it's really more for the stun and the pull rather than anything. But either way, Jesse gonna find just an illusion in the pit, and they are gonna scout out that Roshan has now respawned. BoraDota not jumping in yet, albeit they do have a very good Roshan lineup, but a jump in 4 or 3 man Impale from KYW into the RP can be absolutely devastating, and they are wise to not jump into the pit, especially scouted out by the side of FailQQ, and throw their advantage away. So Wise decision from BoraDota here. They'll continue to farm on their PA as well as this Tidehunter, who is working towards a refresher of his own to counter that was picked up by Smile. Damn it, hasn't found much else. 4K though, Relic on the way on the courier, and as I mentioned, not even 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes since pause. Damn it, does find enough farm for that Relic, and now the Abyssal Blade is up. They're pretty much willing to take this fight if they position the Tidehunter far out of the pit, and they will position him on the high ground along with Aquino and Jesse. They'll just drop Dammit into the pit. He will get hit with an Ice Blast here, but they do know that he is the only one in the pit, and they will back this off, though. They will catch out just an illusion up here, and hopefully an RP was not used. Just a skewer used, down for 20 seconds, however. And perhaps they look to take an engagement at this tier 2. Dammit gonna bait out in the lane, and things gonna be pinged out by the side of FailQQ. The vision is here for BoraDota, however, and they do have Sentry, so they know nothing gonna happen. Jump forward from Jesse. He's gonna get only an illusion here. Will they look to re-engage? It doesn't seem as so. Dammit actually gonna jump in. He's gonna find a kill on the Magnus with his BKB pop. Smile does not have buyback at this point, and they can look to take a Roshan. The BKB was used by Dammit there, but without the RP, they're really not worried about the team fight of FailQQ. They're gonna look to take this tier 2, jump forward, gonna clean up the creep wave. The Ice Blast not gonna connect on anyone. Actually does connect on Dammit on the way through, but they should take down this tier 2 with relative ease. Abyssal Blade used for the first time there to kill off that Magnus, and as I mentioned, any target she decides to go on with that Abyssal is more or less dead, especially with the BKB popped. That doesn't allow any counter initiation. KYW is going to find out Aquino, so the Skywrath Mage going to get cleaned up by a Vendetta Impale Mana Burn combo, but unfortunately for Aquino, BoraDota cares little about their Skywrath Mage dying at this point. Interestingly enough, Nico denying up the mid lane tier 2, so they will see that he is not here. The Ravage is not available for this pit fight. The Ice Blast will go out and hit onto 2. Jesse going to jump forward. He's going to get Wraithfire blasted in the face as well as the Spike Carapace. And it looks like this will back them out of Roche. So interesting decision to back up their Tidehunter to deny that tier 2 tower, as opposed to keep him around the Roshan pit, which would definitely have assured that they take this Roshan. Roshan now at lower than 40% health, sitting almost at 4K. He is regenning up, however, and it doesn't look like any team is privy to walking into the pit without that oh so crucial vision. BD does have quite a bit more than does FailQQ. The Phantom Assassin gonna jump to the high ground. Quick crit, easy kill onto the Ancient Apparition. Will bring down the Wraith King for the first time, and jump in from Jesse will pull back the Magnus as well. He's gonna drop Earth Splitter, gonna hit on a couple, and it looks like Jesse will fall here, so one return kill going their way. But either way, Nyx Assassin dropped as well. Shotgun onto Aquino, but the Morphling gonna fall here, and that will be a free Roshan going the way of BoraDota. They've even used up Luofino. The Wraith King will drop as well. Full 5-man wipe for 2 down on the side of BoraDota. Big fight going their way. All the damage pretty much dealt. 5,500 damage by the PA here. Ice Blast gonna hit on many. Not gonna matter. Aegis up for Dammit and 3,700 gold. So gonna be an easy storm up mid lane with the Storm Spirit down. However, either way, they should take this tier 2 with relative ease. Buyback only available on the Morphling out of the Heroes Dead for FailQQ. There will be another Ice Blast shortly to deter the push, but BoraDota not particularly worried about things. Dammit gonna clean up the creep wave, and the Gush from Nico gonna kill secure that one last creep. Dammit even gonna find the last hit on the tower here, and we'll see what he's picked up. Could be a MKB here. Actually looks to be a heart from Dammit, so not worried about the Morphling building into a butterfly at any point. Satanic, I should say. What a noob. H-Dom in the inventory already of the Phantom Assassin, and looking to take mid lane. 18-6 is your score. 36 minutes into the game. Looks like they'll regroup around the Ravage. Refresher recipe picked up, so needing about 400 gold for this refresher is Nico. And Nico XD, they probably will just wait for this. They do have quite a long while on the Aegis. Still 4 minutes available on this Aegis, so Nico can certainly farm up the last makings of this Perseverance here. Probably pick up his Void Stone. No, he'll just go towards the Ancients. Yeah, he will pick up the Void Stone, as I mentioned, to grab a little bit of extra mana to regen And we'll farm these Ancients here, and this should be just enough for his Refresher Orb to come over. Courier is going back to base, so he will have a little bit of a delay there. Either way, he's going to need to regen his mana, and Dammit has scouted one out in the bot lane. That is the Morphling. He does have a Replicate at the ready, however, and GoKuroki just going to Replicate out back to base, and should be just fine for the time being. Sitting on 200 gold, so this wave should give him almost enough here for the E-Blade, and it will. And he does have buyback ready, so perhaps he will look to farm that up before picking up this E-Blade. But perhaps you do need that E-Blade for this engagement. Either way, it looks like GoKuroki playing it safe for the time being. There is no one encroaching on his base at the current moment, so perhaps he should look to farm up this buyback. Does have a Replicate in 5 seconds, can keep one in base, safely positioned here. They're going to scout out this Courier, however, which is coming over with the Eagle Song, and that would have been a huge kill if they were able to get it. Either way, E-Blade ready now for the Morphling, but simultaneously with that, we're going to see a Refresher picked up from Nico XD, so both Refreshers are ready for either team, neither of which we've seen used. Not sure if Smile was even able to get off an RP in that fight bottom lane. He got jumped in and orchided up by Jesse Storm Spirit, and he was brought down fairly quickly on that Magnus, unfortunately for him. Taking a look at the net worth, he is 4th overall, just under that Storm Spirit, but really, Blink Refresher is all the Tide needs here to get some things done. And he does have enough mana for 2 Ravages. He has not skilled the level 3 of the Ravage yet, and he isn't level 16, so unable to do that, but he will have enough for 2 Ravages here, which is huge for the side of BD. With some counter initiation, he can jump in. You can pretty much bait out and let the RP happen, jump in with a Ravage and get pretty much the entire lineup of FailQQ. You know Smile's going to be looking to make big plays here, as they are in a deficit and they are on the back foot for the side of FailQQ. So BD very survivable in this engagement, especially on Dammit, who has the Aegis as well as Satanic. So pretty much has 3 lives if uses that Satanic in combination with the BKB. There's pretty much nothing to stop it from the side of FailQQ. Of course, if she gets hit by an Ice Blast before then, will be a little bit of a detriment to her ability to heal up via the lifesteal. But they will put Dammit in the front lines as the battering ram. 1 cleave shot going through the armor, of course, of Wolfino is going to drop him to half HP, and perhaps this is where they look to engage. Boots of Travel picked up now by the Morphling. He can go to the top lane, and he will elect to do so for the time being. He does have a Replicate back in base, and they will ping him out, so they know he's not here. They're going to go right in towards the tier 3s. Stomp is not going to connect, it doesn't seem. Jesse going to jump forward. He's only going to find a Replicate though, but that is actually a big deal, as now the Morphling can't TP back. They will take this tier 3 with relative ease. Jump forward, they're going to bring down the Wraith King, but a skewer backwards onto Dammit. He's going to pop the BKB. Ravage is going to go out onto 4. Abyssal Blade onto the Magnus. Second Ravage is there. Everyone down except for JYW. Instant buyback from Magnus and Ancient Apparition. All the meanwhile, Morphling is still in the bot lane pushing. There's going to be TPs back. He takes the entire Rax by himself, so they trade Raxes 1 for 1. They do expend 2 buybacks here, and the Magnus has been sealed up for the side of Smile. He'll get orchided as well. He's going to go down, not be able to use that second RP. Ice Blast will jump out and does hit on 2. So it shouldn't be enough though, but a Blink Forward Impale. Nice play by KYW, knowing the Ice Blast was on the Storm Spirit. He's going to get gushed up here, but shouldn't be brought down as he does Yules up. This Titan 2 has a Blink at the ready with an Anchor Smash. Either way, they'll bring down this Rax here, and GoKuroki in the bot lane is still alive. So interesting there. They take down the Replicate of the Ancient Apparition from the Morphling, and actually looks like Skywrath Mage was popped here. BD Dammit in the mid lane. Does have his Abyssal at the ready. Needs to be careful though. BKB is available in 5 seconds. There's the E-Blade. He does Abyssal up, but the Ice Blast comes through, and there goes the PA. Huge defense for FailQQ. They expend 2 buybacks there. Fight recap a little bit too late, as there were multiple engagements happening, but they do trade the lanes of Rax, both in the off lane. Well played there. Interestingly enough, Ancient Apparitions Replicate there for the Morphling was eliminated, so there was no way for the Morphling to TP back for GoKuroki. Either way, he eliminates all 3 structures in the top lane for the side of BoraDota, and they trade Raxes 1 for 1. They lose their PA. Of course, 2 buybacks expended from the side of from the side of FailQQ. So they did use the buyback on both their Magnus and their Ancient Apparition. However, Storm Spirit used his buyback as well for Jesse for the side of BD. So certainly I would say a win in favor of FailQQ. They drop Damit's PA as well. Ice Blast gonna fly out mid, gonna hit on Aquino, and it's gonna do quite a bit of harass damage here. It is finally a level 2 ultimate. Aghanims is being built into, but probably won't be done before the game is over for Love You Selena. And unfortunately for the side of FailQQ, that would be a very big pickup for them. Does persist through BKB, doesn't do the damage, but does not allow the healing to come through from the lifesteal and whatnot. So unfortunately for Dammit in that mid lane, probably should have waited just a couple of seconds before he jumped up till his BKB was back off cooldown. It had 2 seconds left on cooldown when the Morphling jumps in with the E-Blade Adaptive Strike combo, and the shotgun bringing her very low, as well as making her ethereal, therefore unable to attack and regenerate. The Ice Blast comes in to finish him off in combination with KYW's toolkit there. And speaking of KYW, he's picked up a Ghost Scepter and a Yule Scepter here, so didn't opt for the Force Staff, actually picked up a Yule's of his own, and is hunting through the jungle. Maybe we'll find out Nico XD. He is pretty tanky. He does have double Ravage at the ready. Ice Blast gonna come through though. It is gonna land. A Vendetta Strike as well. Impale's gonna whiff. Nice Force Staff. They're gonna need the Wraithfire Blast here. They will get it. And they will bring him down with a TP in from Gokoroki. Finishes him off with the E-Blade. Not even an Adaptive Strike needed there. That's a huge kill. He does have buyback available on the Tidehunter, so still gonna have that double Ravage available for this fight. However, will be a costly buyback. Albeit, he does have his Blink Refresher, so he's not going to need too many more items, but a Shiva's would certainly be nice, or something of the like. Even a BKB of his own wouldn't be bad versus that E-Blade of the Morphling. Roshan is going to be up right now, so this is interesting. They can go in with the Tidehunter down for the side of FailQQ if they scout it out, but it doesn't seem like they will. Seems like they want to find something in this bot lane. Dead is a little bit out of position here. Can get jumped in on by the Morphling. You are invulnerable during the waveform, so you can get that E-Blade combo off. Jump in RP on 2. Impale follows on 2. There is a second RP. They're not going to need it, but they use it anyways to bring down the Storm Spirit. Huge kill in the bot lane. Storm Spirit down for 100 seconds. They should know Roshan is up if they're diligent about keeping their times. And that is massive for the side of FailQQ. They lose their Morphling, however, in the mid lane to the combo of Dammit and Aquino. So the Ancient Seal proves to be enough for Dammit to bring him down. And their mid-rax is susceptible here. However, there's no lane for Dammit for a little bit of time. And it looks like we will back off Wolfino as well as the Nyx Assassin for KYW here. Denied tower in the bot lane. Tier 2 now down. So Raxes are, or the tier 3 at least, is exposed. Ice Blast going to go out. It's going to hit on Dammit. They use both their RPs bot lane to finish off that Storm Spirit, who is down for 55 seconds without buyback. But Gokoroki down on the Morphling as well for about the same amount of time, so we probably won't see an engagement come out here from FailQQ without all the damage offered by the Morphling. Looks like he will go into the Scotty here. Very good item this late into the game. Stats him up, gives him a little more right click. Of course, gives him the slow as well, which persists through magical immunity. And will be a nice pickup here. Has Dammit picked up anything? It looks like he's building into either a Mjolnir or an Assault Cuirass for his team here. Doesn't look like anyone else is going to build that Assault Cuirass, and will be a nice item for the minus armor. So going to be an interesting pickup from him. He will be fully 6 slotted at this point. Will Dammit on the PA, and is sitting at 28,000 net worth. Has been caught up to a bit by Gokoroki, but that death in the mid lane, very costly. Probably should have just stayed bot lane with his team. Continued to push, into the face of BoraDota there. And we will see another pause, as there was a DC from Smiles Magnus here. So should be very interesting. Next engagement could decide it all here, folks. We're taking a look at the buyback situation. Storm Spirit doesn't have buyback for another 2 minutes, so unless they wait that out, it's going to be very crucial how this engagement goes. Smiles Magnus as well as the Ancient Apparition sitting about 1 minute and 3/4 away from their buyback. So everyone else in the game does have buyback available aside from needing the gold for it, and everyone is pretty close in terms of gold. Storm Spirit will not have the buyback as well as the gold for a little bit. So they should certainly be worried about engaging before they ensure that that is available for them. Either way, Boots of Travel are available on both the PA and the Morphling, and of course he does have the Replicate as well. So the split push is very real, and the immediate marching towards the opponent's base after the winning of an engagement will be definitely available to both of them, as long as either team can leave at least one lane pushed out. Raxes are down one lane each, both in the off lane for either side, and BoraDota has allowed FailQQ to get back into this game, and as I mentioned earlier, they didn't really force the issue enough with the Aegis. The Aegis was fed over in the top lane by the PA in this area here, and unfortunately for Bora, they didn't get enough done. They only got a tier 2 for that. It was a successful defense for FailQQ, and they allowed the Morphling to get back into the game, who is now pretty potent, sitting at level 22, just a couple levels below the PA. Does also have 4k gold at the ready. Buyback currently costing him 1500, so we'll be able to pick up a point booster if he likes to replace that magic wand, and maybe just sells that for a TP scroll at this point, which, oh, he actually has Boots of Travel, so that would make no sense. So he can replace that with at least a point booster, if not an ultimate orb, if he farms up a little bit. It looks like we will get back into the game here, guys. Thanks for watching. Sorry there have been so many delays today with the pauses, as well as the admins being AFK for jDL, but we did get this game underway. It is now game 2 for 45 minutes in. Score is 23-23. Very negligible leads at this point, about 10k in the way of net worth and experience for BoraDota, but compared to the around 10k that they had at 30 minutes, pretty much negligible. And clean up the wave will smile, and he will back off here. There is a nice effigy there. Ice Blast going to be hit by dead. Roshan is being done here. KYW will find him out with the Ice Blast. One more right click will help him to shatter, and we'll actually get the right click there. That's a nice little pick off. Nico is going to be scouted out here by the Vendetta, and they will be able to bring down the Roshan. However, jump in from the Wraith King. He's actually going to get Ancient sealed up. He finds an invisibility rune, and they will find the Skywrath Mage here with a few more right clicks. Akino going to go down. Ravage on 2, however. Wolfino's going to go down once. Ethereal Blade RP into Dammit. Another Ravage is going to hit on all 3 from the high ground. Here comes the Storm with a Ball Lightning. He's going to clean up one. That's Magnus down on the sidelines. Ice Blast is going to go out, but Dammit is going to be down from the Aegis, so it does whiff. FailQQ going to be able to put a Wraith Fire Blast into him, and Jesse is really low on mana, but a blink and a couple right clicks from Dammit is going to clean him up. And we will see Go Kuroki, Waveform, and Replicate out there. So not the best fight for FailQQ. They got the Elder Titan down early. They bring down the Aegis as well as the Skywrath Mage, but they lose both the Wraith King and the Magnus. Magnus has no buyback here, and they should certainly be worried about their base. However, Go Kuroki doing a little split pushing did bring down one tier 4, and is going to try to bring down Dammit as he backs off, but he's going to catch a stomp in the face. This should be his death here. BKBs even wastes his 9-second charge, and one crit from Dammit is going to spell his doom. He takes out a tier 4. Certainly not worth feeding over his death, which gives quite a bit of golden experience over to the side of BoraDota. And he does have buyback available on the Morphling, and they probably should look to push the issue here, as the Elder Titan does fall, however, so they won't have a full lineup. They won't have the natural order. KYW did pick off that ET. He's been playing pretty well on this Nyx Assassin. Big pickup here, however, for the Storm Spirit. Lincoln Sphere now available for Jesse. He's got the cheese as well and a gem, so he's going to look to establish some semblance of map control for BD. And this should be BD forcing the engagement fairly soon. They're pushing out all the waves. Dammit pushing out top wave. Bottom wave is already pushed out. Mid wave being pushed out by the other 3 members that are alive from BDD. They will put Nico on the high ground for the time being. There's no Ravage available for 40 seconds. RP is available. Double RP, in fact, is available. But they don't want to buy back their Morphling. They are going to glyph here. KYW sitting on the low ground, looking to flank them. And there will be a buyback from the Morphling. Is there a jump in from this Magnus? Double RP is available. And they'll actually just back off. So well played by BoraDota. They're going to force out that buyback with only 20 seconds left on the Morphling spawn timer. KYW not going to find anyone retreating out. And they will get a free buyback from the Morphling. They know now that is on cooldown. They've also stopped his progression towards that Scotty. He may as well buy this second ultimate orb at this point, as he has used his buyback here, so he may as well stat up with that second ultimate orb. Aegis was popped in the river, and Roshan will not be up for at least another 5 minutes at minimum. So this next engagement will probably happen sometime soon. I doubt that the teams will be willing to wait on Roshan here, and we will see BoraDota pushing out the top lane with 3 members of their squad. Dead gonna rotate back towards the mid lane, and that Spirit way the heck on the other side of the map is gonna drop a stomp as he reconvenes with Jesse here. He's gonna go towards the rune, which is gonna spawn fairly shortly at 50 minutes, but they will pick up the Scythe of Vice for KYW. It looks like ET is also building into one of his own with that ultimate orb in tow, but Scythe of Vice ready for KYW could be a huge item if they're able to scythe up this Tidehunter as he goes in for a Ravage and bring him down. They could probably isolate Dammit and kill him off. Jump in forward. Abyssal Blade, though, onto Gokoroki. His BKB is too late. He has no buyback. That's GG, more or less here. Wraith King goes down for the first time, and Gokoroki going to pop it. Caught a little bit out of position. They're going to drop the Magnus as well. Smile going to go down for good measure. And Yule Scepter defensively used by Dead. Either way, that simple, a little bit anticlimactic for you. BoraDota finally going to push their advantage. 50 minutes in, they'll take the second game. Series will be tied up 1-1. I'll post in the chat for you guys the standings currently of the Join Dota League Season 4. Thanks so much for joining us on HeflaTV, guys. You can follow us over on Facebook and Twitter at HeflaTV. All the VODs will be up on youtube.com/HeflaMoke. I am mrpdota, your resident Canadian Dota 2 caster. Tonight at 6 CET, so 3.5 hours from now, we will have the MPGL Mineski Pro Gaming League LAN Finals up with HeflaMoke over on HeflaTV 1. So be sure to join us for that. Will be a lot of exciting SEA Dota to cast. There are quite a... Let me just spell out the games for you guys. At 6 CET, we've got Aces versus Rave. And then Arcanus versus Execration at 9 CET. And then we will have the finals of the winners and losers bracket following that at 12 and 15 CET. So be sure to join us starting in 3.5 hours from now over on HeflaTV 1 for the MPGL, guys. Thanks again for joining me. I am mrpdota, your resident Canadian Dota 2 caster. You can find me on Twitter at mrp_Dota. Hope you enjoyed the cast, guys. We'll be back once again at 12 o'clock Eastern or 6 CET. Appreciate it, guys. Take care.